Terve! Tässä olisi S.T.A.L.K.E.R Clear Sky ja aikaisemmin en pelannut ollenkaan, vissi johonkin Tsernobyliin sijoittuu joku slaavilainen survival horror peli. Open World vissi ja New Game. En mä tiedä. Noviisi Stalker Veteran Master. Mä olettaisin, että Master on niinku vaikein vaikeustaso, noviisi on helppoa ja Stalker olisi se normaali. Olettaisin. Tässä on jonkinlaista niin kuin Stalker siihen kirjaan perustuvaa meininkiä. Siis mullahan on Andrei Tarkovskin Stalker-peli, kun siis leffa Blu-rayna ja mulla ei siis pienintäkään hajua, että mitä tässä kuuluu tehdä. Siinä on joku doge.
In actual fact, we have nothing to worry about. According to our research, the next emission will not occur for at least...
Okei. Mun on ihan pakko ottaa kuulokkeet pois päästä, skipata tuohon katskiin, koska nämä äänet on liian kovalla.
Without going into detail, I must say I have never seen anything like this before. The encephalogram suggests serious damage to the nervous system, but the other indicators couldn't be better. It's astounding.
Perhaps it has something to do with the emission.
Most certainly, although so far I've been utterly unable to formulate a rational explanation for this.
Look, it's waking up.
Pieni kosteusvaurio varmaan. Minäkeistä tulee. Mutta Windows XP varmaan.
That's good. Welcome back to the world of the living, Stocky. How are you feeling?
My head's splitting and spinning, so basically I'm in real good shape.
Do you remember what happened to you?
Okay, I remember leading an expedition through the swamps, bunch of scientists, 10 the emission, that's it, where am I? Is the 7, then why does it look so much like the zone?
In the joking mood, eh? That bodes well for your recovery. I'm Lebedev, the group leader, and I'm responsible for everyone here. That includes you, for as long as you're here. We call ourselves Clear Sky, and you are in our base right now. We picked you up in the swamps after the emission.
Oh, I guess I got lucky then.
I doubt it. The facts are these. You survived the emission. That's the first thing I still can't explain. The second thing is that our patrol found you in the swamps, which are essentially endless quicksand. And thirdly, you nearly got torn into shreds by a pack of pseudo-dogs. But our boys got you out just in time. Such a chain of events tells me it's more than just luck. Anyway, I need to finish what I'm doing. So let's continue this conversation later.
Lepoa vaan jo rennommin. Mutta siis tosissaan mä haluaisin nyt näitä asetuksia muuttaa, noniin äkkiä. Hyvä tää, mikä tää main menu. Game autosave, talk to the barman. Tosta tulee objektiivi tosta tabista. Kontrollista crouchaa. IO inventory, mercenary, Scar mercenary. Tää on varmaan rahayksikkö. Meillä on Kalasnikov AKM 742. Joo. Okei. Nukuttiin tossa vissiin ja... Talk to the barman. Siellä on kuu, eikö aurinko. Barman, missä se on? Tuossa joku... Ei. Miksi mä oon jossain katolla nyt? Mä haluan alasta. Noniin. Hello.
I'm glad to see you, young man. You look considerably better. If that is all, I better get back to my work.
Onks toi punainen nyt se barman sitten? Se objektiivi.
I see you. Just a minute. Hello, Mark. You became quite a legend while you were out of it. Even you wouldn't believe some of the rumors I've heard. Anyways, here's a drink on the house for a lucky son of a gun. It should help you relax and tell me about your adventure. Because I'm just dying of curiosity.
There's not much to tell. I was leading a group of scientists through the swamps when an emission hit. I remember nothing after that. I regained my consciousness here, so now you tell me what happened.
Fair thing. You drink and I'll tell you about this place. It used to be pretty quiet here. We had the paths worked out, the right places explored, and the approach covered. Of course, the swamps ain't exactly spring break material, but it wasn't too bad either. Yeah, it wasn't too bad until the last emission, the biggest we've ever seen. These days our boys pray both to God and the devil before going out of the base. Because getting back alive is a miracle in its own right. But we're managing to hold it together, because our guys ain't here for loot. They're fighting for a cause.
How did you end up here?
Just collecting bottles one after another, and they let me here. I'm kidding, man. Truth is, there was no place for me in that other world. It didn't want me. In the end, I came here. First to the zone, and then to Clear Sky. The guys here are all right, and I need it here. They come back here after a mission, I pour them a drink, tell a few dirty jokes, and my job is done. Simple, but effective. By the way, they call me Cold around here.
About this place, would you give me a clue as to where we are?
In our base. As you can see, it's a small, sinking farmstead in the middle of romantic, endless swamps. I couldn't tell you where it is exactly, but it's the last place in the zone where you can meet real people. Guys who won't screw you, stab you in the back or let you bleed to death to save a med kit.
I'm no stranger to the zone, yet I've never heard about this Clear Sky. How do things work here?
You know why you've never heard of it? Because too many people want to know about it, and the fewer that do, the better. Lebedev is our leader. Man is a rock if ever I've seen him. He's the glue that holds our whole group together. Then there's Binpolev, Professor Binpolev. He's like a walking encyclopedia and a calculator in one. Knows more about the zone than... well, anyway. Our technician's called Gray. He can make you a rifle out of an empty can with ammo to boot. He could use some spares, but apart from that. And finally we have Suslov. He's a trader. But he ain't like the others of his trade. He won't try to rip you off or screw you. He knows that stalkers go...
Leave the merc alone with your dirty jokes. I need to see him.
Well, brother.
Okay.
Lebedev says he needs to see you. That ain't up for a discussion. Go on. I'll catch you later. Pop in anytime you feel like chatting. I suggest you go see Lebedev. He doesn't call... Stop by for a chat anytime.
Alright. Elikkä takaisin tonne, missä me tultiin. Takaisin. Mikä mökki vai mikä toi on? Moro. Dude, I haven't slept for 3 days, or is it 4? Let me check some Z's. Ait.
Got some fresh air? You look better, that's for sure. Let me fill you in on this situation. You're in the Clear Sky base. Don't try to remember who we are. You've never heard of us, and there's a very good reason for that. Our mission is to research the zone. We believe that the zone must be studied and understood so that humanity knows what it is facing here. Understanding is the key to coexisting with the zone. Because if you think about it, the zone is the most wondrous phenomenon humanity has been confronted with in its entire history.
Why are you hiding?
As I said, we are researchers. We are trying to figure out the nature of the zone, determine the reasons which caused it to appear, and formulate the rules that govern its existence. We are not consumed by a quest for money. We don't seek fields of artifacts, and we're not interested in turf wars with other factions. That is why we're hiding here in the swamps and concentrating on our research. Our forte is not combat, but knowledge. Knowledge of the zone. Accumulated over
Tulee mieleen
years
vähän
of
Morrowind.
research.
Tämmöstä täytyy
We
lukea
know more
pitkiä
about it than
tekstipätkiä.
stalkers and the government combined. And our research of us finally shaping up into a sound, coherent picture until the massive emission a few days ago.
What was so peculiar about it? We've had emissions before.
No, that emission was incredibly powerful. It was on a level of its own. It was like a hurricane that swept the whole zone, changing it. Everything is different. The well-known and relatively safe areas have become highly radioactive and full of anomalies. But now, you can access parts of the zone that have been unreachable for years. Even the most hardened stalkers don't know what awaits them on their favorite path. The other thing that changed is people, and that became evident right away. The emission destroyed the fragile balance between factions, and they're now warring for territory. In other words, many strange things have happened, and I don't yet fully understand the scale of these changes. It's only been a few days since the emission. If you ask me, the strangest thing of all is that you managed to survive it.
If I knew how I survived, I'd tell you in a second, but I don't remember anything.
I see. How can I help?
I'd better leave. I'm pretty beat up, but I can still walk and hold the gun. How do I get out of here?
Getting out of here isn't easy, not by a long shot. The swamps are a real maze of reeds and radioactive quicksand, swarming with terrible monsters and human scum. And I don't know which is worse. Only a guide can lead you safely out of here. We only have a handful of them. Guys I would trust with my life without a second thought. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Because if I let you go, our presence here might not stay a secret for long.
What are you trying to say?
We're having a very tough time here recently. The emission reduced the number of anomalies in the swamps, which made the area easily accessible for bandits and other vermin. There are so many of them, they'll be setting up camp in our base soon if we don't do something about it. The problem is that we're not really the fighting type, so we've been steadily losing ground. But you, one look at you, tells me you're a pro at that sort of thing.
This is the second outpost.
Your
We're under attack. I
experience can
repeat,
save
we're
the
under
lives
attack.
of many
Help!
of my... That's enough chit-chat. There's been another attack on our outpost. Help us fight it off. If it makes any difference, some of the boys who saved you are there right now. You still remember how to survive in the zone?
I remember bits and pieces.
Great. Get over to the trader and he'll fit you out with some basic equipment. After that, head straight to the outpost. Once you're outside the base, listen to my advice. I'll try to guide you along.
Okay. Help the outpost.
Trader, advice is on his base.
Eikö se ollut tuolla se trader? Eikö se oli se baariomistaja toi? Täytyy täältä käydä sitten. Roger that. Remark, hello. Ei oo Sidorovic täällä.
What at last? Here, take this basic equipment kit. It's designed specifically for patrol missions.
Ammuksia, shotgun, PMM, knife, echo detector, bandage, first aid kit, anti-radiation, rocks. Hey, thanks. Is it always this stressful here?
I've been ordered to issue you some equipment. There's no time for questions. The boys need you now.
Yeah, I'm gone. Echo detector. This anomalous activity detector with a built-in Geiger counter produces an alarm signal when you approach an anomaly. It can also register the presence of artifacts and measure the distance to the nearest one. When closed, the device registers only radiation and anomalies. Okay. Exit. Okay. Hello.
You have my full attention.
So you are ready to go to the outpost? I'm ready. Alrighty. I'll blindfold you until we get there, you understand. I'm sure we must keep the route secret. Just joo. Mut mihin se äijä meni sitten? Okei. Tätä ei varmaan saakaan niinku... Katsotaan muuten, saako fobia muutettua. Mä luulen, että tätä niinku aseen
There are
fobia.
anomalies ahead. Be careful. Remember, don't move until you've thrown a bolt in front of you.
Mitäs mä semmosen heitän? Bolt. Game over. Okei. Tää ei näköjään vissiin tää peli pitele kädestä. Tämmönen. Mitäs se sanoo? Onko se niinku tonne päin pitää mennä? Noin. Ei vittu. Mikä saatana mölli siellä meni. Joku tommonen elukka tai tommonen zone-eläin. Hyi vittu. Perkelekko. Ja sinne meni melkein kaikki ammukset. Eiköhän tää ollut tässä sitten.
Run for the tower. The monsters can't get you there.
Ascend the tower, okei. Okay.
You're right on time, bro. I'm real low on ammo, so let's make the best of it together.
F. Se niinku...
Attention all fighters. An emission is approaching. Get to cover now.
Siis... Nyt tuntuu tää... Okei. Mitä tapahtuu? Cancelet, mut mähän olen täällä takana taas. What the fuck? Ei tässä oo kyllä mitään järkeä. Nyt mä oon täällä taas. What the fuck? Tää muuten juoksee aika nopeasti.
You survived the emission again. I'm not even that surprised. Our boys picked you up not far from the tower when things calmed down a bit. You know, Bien Polev was right. You defy scientific
Just
explanation.
joo.
He
Todella
believes that you
päätyi
acquired some,
takaisin.
let's say, unusual abilities, which help you survive anomalous activity that would literally tear anyone else down to atoms. Also, it looks like something is increasing your body's performance in several areas, to the point where our monitoring equipment goes off the scale. Wait, don't get too excited. There's always a fly in the ointment. Every emission harms your nervous system, and if this continues, you will die.
Why do emissions occur this
A
often?
normal emission is the release of energy accumulated in the zone. A
Mä muistan,
discharge,
että kuitenkaan huomioon.
But what's happening now is completely different. In my opinion, the increasing regularity of these emissions is the zone's response to some sort of serious threat, akin to the response provided by a human immune system. It is difficult to rationally explain coexistence between humans and the zone. The zone tolerates us in some areas and forbids us from going to others. Whatever is beyond the Scorcher and further towards the center of the zone is taboo, a place where stalkers are not supposed to set foot. I think that the recent events in the zone are related to the fact that someone broke that taboo and made it past the brain scorcher.
Someone got past the Scorcher. What risk does this pose for the zone?
It's hard to say. To answer that question, I would need to know what's in the center of the zone. Some say the monolith, others say the Vishkrater. The more
Toiveen
unpretentious
toteuttaja.
ones dream about fields of rare artifacts. I was at the power plant myself, a young specialist at the time, but I don't know what's there now. What I can say is that the Scorcher appeared for a reason. It prevents the center of the zone from being reached. People cannot go beyond the brain scorcher.
Is there a real way to pass the Scorcher, even theoretical
I
sense?
didn't think so until the large emission. Hell, nobody thought so. However, if you consider the emissions to be a defensive reaction, then the answer is obvious. Someone made it through the Scorcher, and the emission was the zone's response. And since the emissions haven't stopped, whoever it was must still be alive. The zone is trying to get them, and it's killing everything that's alive in the process.
What's the danger of such frequent emissions?
I know a lot about the zone, but I can't share everything with you. You'll just have to trust me on some things. A system, any system, needs to be in equilibrium. The zone is unstable right now, and this instability is increasing. If the constant emissions aren't stopped, the zone will become so unstable that a new disaster will occur. Which brings us to what S.T.A.L.K.E.R is doing. We are trying to prevent that disaster.
Prevent the disaster. You're not even strong enough to fight off bandits.
But we do know how to prevent a disaster and stop the emissions. And that means something.
Lots of confidence you got there, so what's the plan?
We have to find out who was in the center of the zone and stop them at any price.
And you are telling me this of all
There's
people?
a strange connection between you and the zone. On the one hand, every new emission gradually kills you. On the other hand, you survive in situations where others don't stand a chance. My gut feeling tells me that your abilities, your gift, your curse, call it what you will, they mean you can get through places that others wouldn't even dream of. And at the moment, we need to act very quickly.
Not sure I wanna jump right in the thick of things. Why do I have to take part in this?
The answer is simple. If the emissions aren't stopped, your nervous system will burn out and you'll die. Help us and you'll save yourself. Now this may sound like a line from a corny movie, but you really don't have a choice.
Looks like my options are pretty limited.
Unfortunately, yes. So, will you help us?
Yes.
Then listen carefully. We have made use of all our contacts and connections in the zone.
Sidorovich.
As a result, we know that a certain stalker at the cordon was asking Sidorovich about some very strange components. That's all we have for the moment. But it's a lead.
That'll be fine. How do I reach the
Through
corner?
the swamps, of course, how else? But remember what I said. After the emission, a whole army of all kinds of scum turned up in the area. Now they control almost everything. We are under siege, and I'm not exaggerating one bit. So before we can help you get to the cordon, we have to regain control of the swamps. And with your help, I think we should be able to do it.
Understood. Ja Sidorovitsille nyt sitten. Wait a minute. Reaching the Great Swamp is easy. Our guys will lead you. But if you want to actually survive there, you need to learn about the current tactical situation, new PDAs, new features. So if you're curious about any of that, just ask.
Your main guide is the objective section. Your
Okay.
main objective is displayed here, together with a selected additional objective. There can be several additional objectives which you can cycle through using these buttons. Most objectives are also displayed on the map, with the exception of rare occasions when your objectives cannot be located. We will need your help with not only destroying the enemy, but also capturing key positions. In these situations, our fighters will be grateful if you provide covering fire as they capture a position. By the way, don't ignore calls for help. Our boys' lives could be at stake.
Okay.
Hovering over a mark on the map will display additional information. In addition to your objectives, friendly units and identified enemies will also be displayed on the map. Okay, as I'm sure you understand, our main objective is to establish control over the swamps.
What can you offer me? I don't have that much gas. Vai perkele, Kroisos, Pennonen. Haluan mun rahat.
Stalker, what do you want?
Sidorovich. Onko se täällä? Hyvä musiikki ainakin. Ei.
Look who we got visiting our swamps. You sure are a whiff of fresh air.
No 66 for money. I don't have money.
Bump in anytime you feel like chatting.
Missä on Sidorovich? Onko se täällä vai?
Hello there. Oh, welcome, guest from foreign lands. What come you with? A bursting... Yeah, I heard your story. I reckon the main thing is that you're still alive. That's the sort of people we are. You can't buy an extra 15 minutes of life, or a spare store from death. But it's not... yeah, I know.
Received. Thanks.
Drop in next time you're in.
Joo, thanks. Eiks tää Sidorevits olekaan täällä? Sitä mitä voi luutata. Ei. Kauheen kovin juoksee tää ukkeli.
Need something upgraded or repaired? We got enough duct tape to patch the whole son up between these.
Jep.
You have my full attention.
So you want me to lead you to Great Swamps? Okay. Okay.
We're there, so you can take your blindfold off. Don't you try to follow me, it won't work anyway. If you want to come back to the base, find one of the guys at the fishing hamlet.
Alright. Okei, jatketaan myöhemmin tästä.